And now to Europe. Italy has reached another grim milestone. More than 4,000 people have died there now, the most of any country. And in the past 24 hours alone, 627 people died. The rest of Europe is struggling to deal with the virus, too. As Redmond Shannon reports, the UK is now taking extraordinary measures to protect its people and the economy.
This is social distancing, London style. Crowded lineups of grocery shoppers. But everything is about to change in the UK. Schools closed on Friday, 2 weeks after Italy, and almost everything else will soon be suspended, including the British pint.
Telling cafes, pubs, bars and restaurants to close tonight as soon as they reasonably can.
It's a nice pint.
It will be weeks before we know if it's too little, too late. But the British government believes extraordinary financial measures are also needed.
Government grants will cover 80% of the salary of retained workers, up to a total of £2,500 a month.
That's more than $4,000. The immense catastrophe unfolding in Italy is what the world is trying to avoid. But these scenes are almost certainly coming to much of Europe now. The army has been deployed to enforce the lockdown in Italy's Lombardy region. And these are some of the efforts in Spain, as the death toll there tops 1,000. If Europe and its wealth appears powerless against this hidden enemy, then the developing world may fare even worse. The virus is now taking hold across Africa, where public health systems are especially weak.
It's hard to avoid social distance. It's very hard. In Africa, that's part of us. We love togetherness.
Encouragingly, China has slowed cases to a trickle, but Hong Kong has seen its largest daily increase since the outbreak began. Most cases are residents returning from abroad, including skiers who had visited Whistler in British Columbia. A reflection of how this pandemic is now moving in every direction. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.
The federal government estimates about 3 million Canadians work and live abroad at any given time. Many of them have come home. Others are desperately trying to get back now. The Prime Minister insisted today the government is doing everything it can to help. As Ross Lord reports, Canadians stuck overseas want immediate action.
For Chelsea Whitacombe, a vacation has become an ordeal. She and her friend Clifford Robinson flew from Ontario to Peru on March 11th. When they learned how bad the coronavirus outbreak was becoming, they tried to shorten their stay, rebooking the next available return flight for March 18th. But on the 16th, Peru closed its borders.
What we're really hoping for is that the Canadian government can send planes for the hundreds of Canadian travelers here in Peru to get home before the situation evolves even more than it already is.
They're afraid. They don't speak the language, and they're running out of supplies. They wonder why other countries have picked up stranded residents and Canada has not.
The longer we stay here, the worse it's going to get. They're going to restrict us more. I don't know if it's going to, I think it'll just get harder to bring us home the longer we stay here.
These 3 backpackers from Halifax, including 2 firefighters, are also stranded. They're holed up in a hotel room, resisting the urge to panic, as police officers and soldiers enforce Peru's martial law, forcing everyone to stay inside.
The situation's changing on a daily basis. The first day we were able to go out in public and go grocery shopping. Second day, not really permitted unless you're by yourself, and the situation's getting ever more restrictive.
The federal government says it's doing its best to bring Canadians home.
We're in discussion with Canadian Airlines to help Canadians stranded abroad come home. We will have more details to share, but the first flight will be picking up Canadians from Morocco this weekend.
But a statement from Global Affairs suggests Canadians stuck in countries whose borders have been closed might be forced to wait indefinitely. Ross Lord, Global News.
We know you have lots of questions about this virus. Jeff will continue to consult with experts and try to answer them. So email your questions at globalnews.ca. On our website, you'll find a special page dedicated entirely to the new coronavirus. That's at globalnews.ca/coronavirus.